What's up, sports bettors? Matt Modi here with OddsJam. WNBA playoffs start tonight, so I'm here to preview both games and to give you some WNBA best bets for today. WNBA betting picks for today, Wednesday, August 17th. So the two games we have, the New York Liberty, who are the 7 seed, going up against the Chicago Sky, who are the 2 seed. And then the night game, we have the Phoenix Mercury, who are the 8 seed, going up against the Las Vegas Aces, who are the 1 seed. So we'll start with the Liberty versus Sky game because that is the first one. And right off the bat, unsurprisingly, heavy favorites towards the Chicago Sky in this one. They're the better team. They're at home. All that stuff makes sense. Really no play on a money line bet here. There's really no value on getting the Sky money line as steep as it is. If you did want to get the Liberty money line at plus 329, maybe sprinkle a quarter of a unit on it or something like that in the off chance that they upset them, because there does seem to be some value there. The OddsJam line at plus 303, BetOnline another sharp book at plus 280, so there is some value on them at plus 329, but I'm not touching that. Looking at the point spread, I'm not really seeing any value there as well. The Chicago Sky are about 8.5 point favorites depending on where you look, but the only book giving you 8 is BetOnline, which is another sharp book that we look at, and there's really no value on the Chicago Sky minus 8.5. FoxBet is giving you the best odds at plus 100, but that will not be a positive EV play with the VIG removed, so nothing there. Where I did find a play that I really liked was on the total. So as of right now, if we're looking at the total, most books price this total at 165.5 or 166. Both BetOnline and the OddsJam line price this total at 166. But using OddsJam, using the line shopping tool, we can get this at 165, so full point lower, while taking the under. Well, we can get the full point lower while taking the over, which is really valuable. So the OddsJam line prices this at minus 121. With the VIG removed, is priced at plus 104. So in order to determine whether this is a positive expected value bet or not, just need to go to the no VIG odds and type in both of the odds. So it was minus 121 plus 104. Prices the true line of this play at about minus 112, which is more favorable odds than the minus 110 on WinBet. So I do think that this one has some value. This is going to be a half unit play for me on WinBet. It's not quite a McSlam worthy because the EV isn't insane, but it is still positive expected value. So this will be worthy of a half a unit. Place bet, and we are good to go there. For the WNBA, this is where I've made my killing, finding examples in which we are betting on a total that is a massive difference between all of the other books. So again, WinBet prices this total at 165. Every other book, no other book prices this total at that number. BetMGM, FanDuel prices it at 165.5, favoring the over. They think the over is the more likely scenario. Tipico, OddsJam line, again, favoring the over on the 165.5, and then PlayUp has it at minus 165. And then some other books, including sharper books like BetOnline and the OddsJam line, have it a full point higher. So again, just a pretty good value here. So let me go ahead and add this one to my bet tracker, click save. And that's going to be it for the Chicago Sky game. For basketball reasons, why I love this over so much is mostly just a fade of the New York Liberty defense. If you go to advanced stats and we look at offensive net rating, the Sky are the 3rd. And while the Liberty are a little bit lower at 9th, they've actually been performing well recently in this regard. But if you look at their defense, they're at 7th. So pretty poor defense, but they have been playing significantly better on offense. And if you look at how they perform, if you look at their on-off numbers, and their best player is Sabrina Ionescu. Hopefully I didn't butcher the last name. And if you look at the net rating of the Liberty with her on and off the court, their offensive net rating goes up by a ton. So their on-court offensive net rating is 101. Off-court is 83. A difference of 18, which is the greatest by far on the team. So the guess here is that she is going to play a ton of minutes, which will lead to good offense for the Liberty. And you also see their defensive rating take a huge jump with her off the court. So for defense, high numbers equals bad, low numbers equals good. We see a player that they perform pretty poor defensively. So I think that this is going to lead to a ton of points. So that's why for handicap reasons, I like it. Lock this one in on WinBet over 165. So for the Aces versus Mercury game, not much to say here in terms of who's going to win. Aces are going to pummel the Mercury. I think they're just going to absolutely annihilate them. The spread certainly reflects that. If we go to the point spread, they're at about 14, 14 and a half, 15-point favorites, depending on where you look. I do really like the Aces in this game. I think that the Mercury, they're the away team. If you look, so we were looking at net rating, right? If we go back and we look at net rating, this is mostly a huge fade of the Mercury as the away team. So if you go to advanced filters and you look at location road specifically, the Mercury have the second worst net rating in the entire WNBA when they are away. There's the same difference between them and the third worst team is also the difference between them and the last place team. So they're pretty much squarely the second to worst team in the entire WNBA away, and somehow they made it in the playoffs. Not to mention their two best players aren't even sure if they're going to play. They're questionable. If they do, there's probably going to be some rust, you would imagine, or they're a little bit banged up. So I love the Aces in this spot. If you can get them at minus 125 on BetMGM. Unfortunately, BetMGM won't let me get anything in here, but I do think that if you could get them at minus 125, minus 13.5, there is some value there. The OddsJam line prices that all the way at minus 139, plus 121 with the VIG removed, and the other books price this at 14 or 15, 14.5 or 15, with BetOnline pricing it at 14, heavily juicing the Aces side of that. So getting them at minus 125 at minus 13.5 is a good bet if you can. Unfortunately, BetMGM just won't let me. But where I did find a play that I liked, so the total, no value here. Every book prices the total at 167. Really no value here, so we'll skip a play on the total. I did like a play on the first half point spread, but I think the odds, so I got them at -8. The odds have changed on that one, which is okay. Excuse me, which is okay. But the play that I did love is the first quarter point spread. So you can either get them at 4.5 on BetMGM, who unfortunately won't let me because of limits. Let's see how much BetMGM lets me get on the first quarter spread. But the reason why I like backing the Aces in the first quarter, I just think they're going to get out to such a huge lead. So let's see if I can put $50 on this one. Let's see what they let me get. $5.58. So that's kind of what I'm working with on BetMGM. But the reason why I love backing the Aces in the first quarter, I just think they're going to get out to a really, really hot start. They're the best team in the WNBA in terms of record. They're the 1 seed for a reason. And they're at a home playoff game in front of their home crowd. I think, and they're the favorites to win the WNBA title. I think they're just going to come out really hot and absolutely pummel this Phoenix Mercury team. And you can get them at -106, at -5, where all the other books price this in kind of the -110, -115 range. So I do think that this is a pretty valuable bet, getting them at -106 on. I can get this on play up. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and take. This is going to be another half unit play for me. The Phoenix Mercury, the Las Vegas Aces first quarter spread -5, first quarter spread -5. If you can get it on BetMGM, then I would probably put that as a unit and a half, or 0.75 unit play. So for me, that would have been $75, but BetMGM hates me. But those are going to be my 2 predictions for this game. So I like looking at the OddsJam positive EV page to see if there's anything I'm missing. And actually, it looks like some of the plays that I already locked in were positive EV. So the over in the Sky versus Liberty game, it looks like the first half over is a play in both of these games as well, unfortunately on MGM. And there you can back the New York Liberty first half spread +4.5, but I'm just going to sit that one out. I don't like to have a ton of alternate exposure in games, so I'm just going to stick with the over in the Sky versus Liberty. And I do love backing the Aces against the Mercury. If you can get them at 13.5, -13.5 on BetMGM, take it. For me, I backed them taking the first quarter spread on play up Las Vegas Aces -5. Locked it in here, as you can see. And that's going to be it. Those are going to be my 2 betting picks. Official predictions, obviously, I'm going chalk, Aces money line, Sky money line. Just not really great odds there. And that's going to be it. So let me know what you think, if you're fading, if you're tailing. Either way, would love to hear it. Comment on the video with your feedback. Other than that, would appreciate a like, subscribe, share with your friends, all that good stuff. But that's all I got for you. So appreciate you guys watching, and have a good one.